For this project, you're going to start with a white square piece of paper. You'll then grab your pencil, put your name and class code on the back. Once you've done that, you'll flip it over. Then you're going to fold your paper in half. Make sure to line up your edges so your corners fit perfectly and make the crease. Open it back up, turn it, and you're going to fold it in half again, going the other direction. Make sure to line up your edges again and make the crease. Once you've done that, you can see that you have 4 squares. What you're going to do is you're going to write your name in bubble letters in just one of those squares. So I'm going to write my last name. I'm counting how many letters are in my name to decide what letter is in the middle. For me, it's the letter P for Lumpkin. So I'm going to put the letter P in the center of my square. Now you can see I'm kind of doing it at a diagonal. So the top of my P is at the center of my paper. I'm going to make sure that my P stretches all the way from the center out to the very corner. Then I'm going to do my K. For this, I'm doing my trick for bubble letters. If you don't know how to do bubble letters very well, I'm writing my K out normally. And then what I'm doing is I'm just drawing a box all the way around that normal letter to make that bubble letter. This is an easy way of doing bubble letters. If you want me to show you how to do this a little bit more, you can ask me. But then you just go back and you can erase that normal just letter K that I wrote, and then you're left with just the bubble letter K. I know it's hard to see. Now I'm doing my bubble letter I. I'm making sure to stretch from that crease of my square all the way to the edge of my square. You want your letters to stretch to fit that whole square. So I just finished my N. Now I'm doing my M because my M becomes before my P. Making sure to stretch it from that crease of my square all the way to the edge of the square. Now I'm finishing off with my L and my U for Lumpkin. Now once you've finished writing your name, you're going to go back over your lines and you're going to make them really, really thick and really dark. You want to go over these lines a lot so they're really, really, really dark. Once you finish going over all of those lines, so they're really, really, really dark, you can see now you can see my letters a lot better, but then you're going to fold your paper back where you folded it before on that same crease. Then you're going to grab your scissors and you're going to use the wider side of the handle to start rubbing the back of your paper. This is going to transfer your drawing or your letters onto the other side of your paper. I'm going to make sure I'm rubbing pretty hard. I don't want to miss any spaces, so I'm kind of working from one side to the other. I'm going to open it up to see if I've missed any spots, see if any spots are too light. That corner looks a little too light, so I'm going to close it back up, rub a little bit more on that corner to transfer that over. Then I can open it up. Once I see that that's transferred well enough, I see that my corner is still needs a little bit more on that little corner of my L. Next, you're going to grab your pencil and you're going to go back over those lines on the first square where you first drew your letters. You want to go back over them just because doing the transfer kind of rubbed off some of the pencil. You want to make sure that it's still really, really dark and really thick lines. Once you finish that, you're going to fold it in half again. This way you're going to fold it the other way so it's going onto the other empty square right next to it. Then you're going to do the same thing. Rub the back again, make sure not to miss any spots. Once you finish that, you have another transfer of your name. It should be a reflection, so it is the opposite, like a mirror. But then you're going to pick one of those and you are going to go over all of the lines so they're really, really dark, just like that first square you did. You want them to be really, really, really thick and dark so they can transfer over to your last square. Once you finish that, you're going to fold it over again and transfer that square onto that last empty square. Do it the same way you did before. Once you've finished with that, you're going to get a Sharpie and you're going to very carefully go over all of your pencil lines. When you go to draw the other letter on the other side, you don't want to close it off where your paper was folded, where the letter meets the same letter. So see where my two L's meet? I didn't close them off. They're like open to each other so the shape flows into the other shape. If you see my U, it's just flowing into each other. There isn't the line between the U's to close them off. Now I'm starting my M, and you can watch as I do this, I'm leaving it open at the top so that M from the other side can just flow into that M, and it ends up looking like just one really cool big shape. Someone would have to kind of look to see that it's two M's morphing into each other. As I'm finishing this up, take one last look to see that I'm letting those letters flow into each other. If you can see those K's, there's no line between them. They just flow right into each other to make one shape. Then once you have finished with your Sharpie, you're going to grab your eraser, of course, and erase any of those pencil lines that you can still see. Last but not least, you're going to get your color pencils and you can start coloring in your letters. An important part for this is any color I color one L, I have to color all the other L's. So I'm coloring that second L that it runs into, but then I also need to color these L's on the opposite side so my paper looks symmetrical. You can see that I'm going to continue doing that. I did the orange on the U's on one side, so I did the orange on the U's on the other side. Same thing with the yellow. You can see once you start to fill this in that it stops really looking like letters and starts really looking like a symmetrical piece of really cool abstract art. Once you finish coloring in all your letters, you're going to pick one color to pick as your background. So all of that white space that's between all of your letters, that's going to be filled in with one color. So I picked this light pink, and I'm going to fill all that in so there's no white space on my paper when I'm completely finished. When your project is completely done, you should have this really awesome abstract symmetrical piece of artwork.